Hello, hello, my fabulous stitchy friends. I'm Kat, and if you've just found my channel, then welcome. And for all my returning viewers, then welcome back. It's so lovely to have all of you here. Now, my last FlossTube was crazy jam-packed and quite crazy long as well for me. So, am I going to do any better this time? Well, I don't know. I've still got quite a lot to share, so I guess we'll find out. Today is the 20th of October 2023, so it's a Friday, and yes, I'm a few days later than my usual Wednesday because I went away for a few days, so obviously I couldn't film. That makes it just over 2 weeks since we last chatted, and my needle has been on fire. So this one I have got 2 new starts, 2 finishes, and 5 whips that I've been working on. Just a little bit of stash, and yes, I still have plans. So in my last FlossTube, I made and shared plans for the first time, and so we'll see how that went, whether I stuck to those or not, because I wasn't super confident, if you'll remember, so I will update you on how that all went. But let's see some stitchy progress, because I'm going to start with my ongoing whips, and we will see how quickly we can speed through those, and then we can get onto the new starts and the finishes, and wrap up with stash, any other business, and all that good stuff. So in terms of whips, I'm actually now up to 10 whips. I can't have any more than that because I don't have enough fingers. Actually, into double figures is really unusual for me. But I probably, hopefully, have a few finishes lined up at some point. And hey, I don't mind it. I'm still enjoying it. And the first one I have to share today is the Christmas Friends by Doreen Jones. So this is the project that I've been working on while the football matches are on. And in fact, there have only been a couple of matches since the last time we chatted because there was then a bit of a break. But I've still done pretty well. You'll see I've put the progress up from where I was last time, and here is where I am now. So yeah, gosh, I can't even quite get that in. There we go. So just a little bit of blue left to do at the top. I've done a lot of blue stitches, but you can see I've done a tiny bit of back stitch down here. I've done a little bit more back stitch up here as well, and that's been really nice just to do a bit of that because I roll my fabric up from this side when I'm stitching. I'll roll this up while I've been stitching the blue. I didn't want to do back stitch on this side because I didn't want to squash it, so I've only done on this side where I'm not rolling and holding the fabric. But yeah, that's looking really, really good. I actually think I only need one more football match to finish the blue and then just the back stitch. So yeah, I'm really hopeful of a finish. Will it be for the next video? I don't know. We'll find out. I would like to think so. So the next whip is the Castle Homecoming Stitch Along, and we have just had part 6 come out. So you can see up there the picture I've put is up to and including part 6, and I was working on part 5 last time, so again I'll pop up where I was at with that, and I haven't quite finished part 5, but I've actually started in a little bit on part 6 because part 6 has got so much grass, so I thought I might start on that a bit. So here we are with this one. So this was part 5, was this sort of castle turret up here and this little princess. Now the bits that are still outstanding is, well, she hasn't got any eyes for a start, and she's missing her crown, and there's a bit right up the top here. But then part 6 is all up here, and I've made a start just on the grass because it's all across here, and yeah, there's a lot. So I thought I'd start a little bit and I can go back and forth and finish up this bit and then work on the grass in between. But yeah, that's just looking super cute, and as always still having loads of fun stitching that one. So yeah, that's really cool, and I think I may have encouraged at least one other person to start this one, having seen me doing it. So the more the merrier. There is still plenty of time, so that's part 6 is just out and there's 10 parts, so you can still get in on this one if you want to. Now the funny story on this project is that the latest video I made, I was talking about fabric count, and when it can be a little bit iffy. So if you want to find out more about fabric count, watch the video. But in the interests of being thorough, I was checking more and more of my fabric counts, and I checked the fabric for this one. This fabric that I'm using, this is a hand-dyed fabric, and it's a 16 count Ada, except it's not 16 count. I counted this one and it's about 17.5 count. So it's kind of closer to an 18 count really. So no wonder my stitches are feeling quite small on this one. And I'm totally fine with that. I think it looks lovely, but yeah, that does explain why I thought my stitches looked a bit smaller than they normally would on a 16 count. And yeah, go and watch the video if you want to know more about fabric count. There are other situations when it can be a little bit iffy as well. And so obviously I will pop that in a card and in the description for you as well. The third whip to show you is my Chameleon that I've been working on. And this one hadn't seen a lot of love last time. In fact, I think I maybe didn't even show it because I hadn't actually done anything on it. Or if I did, it was pretty tiny. So I've had a few more slots to work on it this time round. So I have done a bit more. So again, I'll pop the progress where I was last time up there. And here is where we are with him this time. And I need to pull back because the bit that I've been working on is actually, I think I've done a bit more of the fringe down here and I've done all of this section here. And this, I'm right down, this is the bottom of the pattern. And the only downside is, look at that, that's not a lot of border on there, is it? I mean, I feel a bit sorry for my framer with only that much margin on it, but hey, he's very good. He'll make it work, but yeah, that's where we are. I'll come in a little bit so you can see some of this lovely, beautiful colours that I've been stitching. And really one block, everything's all these little bits. Well, there's this one block here. So of course I flew through that bit compared to everything else. So the next whip I have is my Chromatic Dragon. So my huge project that is obviously going to take me many, many years to do, as you can see from the picture up there. And I apologise because I forgot to take a picture last time. I've been doing my photos at every 1%. Well, that's only a couple of them so far. But I think that muddled me up and I forgot to take one after the video last time. So I haven't got a progress pic on that one. You'll just get to see the progress at this time, which is here. Look at that. I've actually got, so last time I'd done all this top section. I'd done most of this horn bit here and I was working sort of down here a bit. And it got really gappy because I'd worked some of the dark down here, but not these coloured bits. So I've been trying to make it a bit less gappy, filling in and doing, yeah, some of this lovely colour in here. So that is absolutely brilliant. And that is currently, let me check, that is 5,688 stitches, which is 2.72%. So yeah, still maybe not super impressive, but it's really nice now I'm starting to see some of the colours coming in there and not just black and dark blue. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying this, maybe even more so now, really wanting to stitch on it. But it is only in my rotation plan for 3 daytime slots in the week. So I'm aiming to maybe put in about 1,000 stitches a day. No, sorry, 1,000 stitches in the week on that. Obviously I do get more than that sometimes. I've been stitching it for 4 weeks and I've done over 5,000 stitches. So obviously I am doing more than the 1,000 per week. But yeah, just set myself slow, steady progress with this one. Not too worried when I finish it. It might end up being more than the 2 years that I originally thought, and I'm fine with that. That's not a problem. I'm just having fun stitching it. So yeah, that's really all that matters. And of course, my final whip to show you is Rossa by Bella Filipina. So this is the mermaid design that I've started. And oh my goodness, I'm so in love with this. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, it's only on my rotation plan to stitch on weekends and generally when I'm at home. So I may have snuck in a few extra sessions on it because I couldn't resist. I kind of tweaked a few things where I know I could have swapped a few things around because I so wanted to stitch on this. And here we are. I've done quite a lot. So last time was just this bit down here really. I've now got all the way up into the mermaid tail here. Got some sand. We've got this beautiful bit of fabric that's kind of draped, so her arm will be up here, so that's where that's coming in. And there's a lot of holes in here because that's where all the beads will go. And I don't know, I'm going to move it a little bit. I don't know if you will be able to see some of the stitches. I have done some of the Chromatic metallic. There's some stitches and some back stitch in there as well, but I don't know how well that's going to show up. But yeah, she is so gorgeous. I could almost go monogamous stitching for this project and only stitch on that. But I do really like all my other whips as well. So I will still keep the rotation plan, but it is very tempting. And I suspect I will be sneaking in extra sessions where I can, because I just absolutely adore this project. So yeah, loving it to bits. Now, I don't know if you could guess from that what I might have finished. Like I say, there are some whips that I just haven't been stitching on, and I'm not finished. But the ones that I did, the first one was the Little Ghost by Doreen Jones. So as you can see, I'll put the info up, and it's a set of 4 patterns. I was just stitching 2 of them, and I finished those 2. So here they are. I'll come back here so you can see them both, and I'll zoom in on them for you. So there's the one. So cute. And here's the other one. Oh, look at his little face. And I was debating if I was going to do these corners or not. But I did. In the end, I decided that I would stitch them. It did finish them off nicely, and they're really pretty. So yes, I did stitch the corners. Now, I was also hoping that I might have actually FFO'd them by the time I did this video, but that hasn't happened. But there's a reason for that, and I will show you. I wanted to finish them, well, I'm not entirely sure. I will probably do some kind of papercraft thing with them, because that's generally what I do. And you can see this is why this one's got all creases on it, because I've been folding it up to see how it would look, sort of just like this. And I will probably finish it up maybe like this, and with some mounted on some papercraft. But I wanted twine to put around the edge. And I had some, but it's quite fine. So I wanted something a little bit chunkier. So I ordered a lovely black and white twine. I'll put the link to where I got this. It's a really nice twine. So yeah, so I've ordered that. But you know me, I can't really stop at one. So I might have ordered a few more. And I ordered a box. Look at that. And that is just, that's just the top row. There's actually, in here, there's another row underneath, and there's another row under that as well. So yeah, but the reason being, this was really good value. I've got 30 different colours, and I think it's 20 meters of each. So these are not tiny spools of thread. If I look, that's kind of, yeah, there's loads on there. So, and I've got all the colours in here now pretty much. So it's perfect. I don't really need like an enormous roll for most of them. So yeah, this is going to keep me going for a while, I think. So my other finish, I can't show you here because it was the wedding card that I was working on, and that's been gifted and the recipients loved it. So I'll just pop up a picture to show you that finish, which you might already have seen if you're on Instagram. I did share it on there. And even better, if you like it, I have popped this pattern into my Etsy shop. So you can go and buy it if you want it. I will pop a link in the description for you. And it's got a couple of slight pattern variations. And there's also a version with, actually 2 versions with birthday candles on the top. So that, just to make it a little bit more versatile. So it is on to new starts. And I have 2 of them. And they're both by the Historical Sampler Company. I'm apparently just having a thing for them at the moment. I guess I kind of always have had a thing. I adore their designs. But yeah, I just seem to be stitching a lot by them at the moment. But that is no bad thing. And the first one I think I teased in the last video, and I'll put the info up for you. It's the subscription box, and this is the September subscription box. I nearly forgot what month it is. It's the September box, so that was the Halloween box, and I was so excited to stitch this. And here, so obviously I hadn't started it last time, and it's actually almost finished. I've been doing the border. I thought this would be annoying to stitch, but it's actually been quite fun. And I've done almost all of it. I've just got, yeah, some at the bottom here to finish. I've just been sort of doing it in between stitching the cute motifs. I've got pumpkin left to stitch, and I've been leaving the spider in the middle because I think he'll be fun. I'm going to stitch him last. And there's some more swirls and some little polka dots as well. So yeah, this has been, oh, it's just a joy to stitch. And because the fabric is 16 count, you see, even the black motifs, the coverage is actually really good. So yeah, it's such a bonus that they use 16 count fabric, because I do think my stitching looks really nice on that. So yeah, absolutely love the fabric that they use. And I'm excited. I think it might be a finish next time. So fingers crossed. So my second historical sampler company start is the Jingle Bells Advent Calendar Stitch Along. And that came out just 2 days ago, the first part. It's going to be in 4 parts, and they're coming out every 2 weeks. And I'm not sure I'm going to keep up with that because they're quite big parts, and well, you'll see, I'll pop the picture up there. And in 2 weeks, with everything else I'm stitching, I'm not sure I'm going to get it done. So I'm not going to worry about that. But I did do a little bit of prep. I put the threads, I actually put them onto floss drops for this one. They do provide a card, obviously, for these. But yeah, look at that. Oh, really pretty. So I put them on there, as I say, because I just thought it would make it easier for stitching than having them on the card, especially where there's lots of one colour, so particularly for the white, because there is loads, and that's only half the white. So yeah, there's a lot of white. So I'll show you where I'm at, which is not very much. Yeah, I did only start it today, and I've just done obviously this bit and just that edge of the roof line, and I've just left that hanging there because I'm going to finish, make sure I'm in the right place. I'm pretty sure I am. I've counted it a lot. Had to count very carefully to make sure that I'm in the right spot to start this from the corner. I could have started from the middle, but hey, I like to make life difficult. And I'm pretty sure I'm good there. So yeah, lots of white to stitch, and you can see actually, I'm going to show you on here. So this line across here, I haven't quite, I got most of the way across, most of the way back, I haven't quite finished it, but I don't know if you can see on here, there's one stitch missing. That's because it was such a long line. What I did is I stitched along, I stitched a full cross on the 10th stitch. And then as I went, I stitched a full one on number 20 and a full stitch at 30. So it just made it easier to count the line. And then as I worked back, obviously I filled it in. I didn't quite get back to stitch number 10, so that one's still there. But yeah, that's a handy little tip if you have to stitch a really long line, is make your row of half stitches, and every 10th stitch make a full one. And then it makes it easier for counting. So of course, I'm really excited to stitch some more on that. And it does already have a time slot in my plan. I put that in 2 weeks ago, even though it hadn't actually started, because I used that slot for something else, and I put it in because I knew I didn't want to miss it, miss stitching on it when it came out. So I will be good to go on that one. So now we have got onto stash, or future fun, as I know some FlossTubers call it. And yeah, I really like that because it is definitely future fun, and I'm definitely excited for these. So the first one or two, or I don't know if this counts as 4. Basically, I bought a couple of the patterns by Shannon Christine Designs, some of the Christmas ornaments. Now, I've liked the Shannon Christine Designs for ages and really been wanting to stitch some. And I decided that these would be wonderful to stitch to make into coasters. So I'll put the one set up there, that the first set that I got. And again, this is 2 patterns. They come as a pair. And that is, then there's a whole series. There's more in that series as well. So I got those couple that I really liked. I think I probably will get some of the others as well. And then I'll put the other one up that I got, which again, it's a set of 2, and I can't even remember how many there are in the series. There's quite a lot of them. They're all super cute. So I just got those to start with, but they might well get joined by some more at some point. And like I say, the idea is to stitch them as coasters. So I'll do a tutorial when I finish those up, because I know a few of you have asked about that. And well, 2 reasons I haven't started them yet. One is I have a lot of whips, so I'm thinking maybe get something finished before I start them. But the main reason is that I'm waiting on some fabric because of the size of the coasters, I need to stitch them on 18 count fabric. And I wasn't sure on colours, so I've ordered a few. So I'm waiting on that to arrive and then I can start them. Now these designs, they do have some beads on them. And obviously I'm not going to put those in because it's in coasters, so beads aren't going to fit. So I will just switch that out for whatever colour of thread looks like it would be the most appropriate. Now my second bit of stash, I am absolutely blaming my mum for this one, because we were visiting my parents a few weeks back and she had finished a couple of designs. This was actually when we were going to the framers to get my huge project framed. So yes, it is at the framers. And I just fell in love with these 2 designs that she'd been stitching. And I sort of had to buy, well, I bought one of them. And it's this one. So this is a Bothy Threads kit. It's a Derwent Water Designs. And this is the summer design. So there's one for each season. This is the summer one. And I absolutely loved it. It is so gorgeous. And I just, when I saw it finished, and of course it was all washed and pressed and ready for framing, it looked so beautiful. I decided I wanted to stitch it. So I ordered that for myself. And since we all know that cross stitch can't travel alone, I bought another one because I loved the spring one as well. So this is the spring in the same series, and this is one my mum hasn't stitched. So I've got spring and summer, and actually I'll spin this round for you because look at those colours. Wow. I mean, it's so pretty. Pinks and purples. Pinks and purples is very me. But shall I show you? Let's have a look. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I should have shown you. That's the summer ones. How gorgeous do they look? So yes, so I have spring and summer. Again, I'm desperate to start those, and I am absolutely not starting them. I quite like the idea of starting them and stitching them in the season, but there's no way I'm waiting till spring to start this one. Probably not. So that was those. And just to show you, spoiler alert, Mum, if you're watching this, this is the autumn one, which I've bought for my mum. So the 2 she'd stitched was summer and winter, and I love the winter one. No, I haven't bought that one. And she loved the autumn one. So this one's for you, Mum. I hope you'll really love stitching it. Okay, so I said I would update you on plans because last time was the first time I have ever made plans, and I will put up again the plan the way I did it, which was basically for each day of the week to have stitching for sort of morning, afternoon, evening stitching, and for weekends depending on whether I'm at home or away. So it's just kind of blocked out really roughly, and as I say, I can switch things around if I need to. And honestly, no one is more amazed than me that I have pretty much stuck to this, and I've really liked having that bit of structure. And yes, I've swapped things around a little bit where I needed to, but I've pretty much stuck to it, and it's been really nice to make sure that I'm stitching not necessarily every single project all the time, but that I'm definitely getting through those different things and switching it up. So I think I'm just going to pretty much leave it as is because it's already got the winter, the stitch along, the Jingle Bell stitch along is on there. So I think I'll leave it as is, and I have got a category for smalls. So if I do start the Shannon Christine ornament patterns, then that falls under there. So I'm pretty much covered if I want to add in a new start in there as well. So yeah, I'm just going to stick to those plans. It's been working really well, so I'm going to keep it as is. So I'll wrap up with a really quick any other business, little AOB section. And as you can tell from where I'm sat, the sofa bed has not arrived yet. Still waiting on that one, so I'm still here. So that's a shame, but hopefully soon. I want to apologise really for not being organised enough for doing a giveaway for my 2,000 subscribers, because I raved about it last time. So I will try not to gush again this time, but it is amazing and I appreciate all of you. So I'm going to hold off now. I'm going to do one for 2,500 because I'm going to say, fingers crossed, it might not be too long. So I will put something together for when I reach 2,500 subscribers. I will do a little giveaway. So yes, something to look forward to. So that is everything, and I'm hoping I've managed to get through that a little bit quicker than last time, but I think we've still managed to pack quite a lot in there and lots to look forward to coming up. So I will be back in, well, less than a couple of weeks on my usual Wednesday slot, or I might just leave it on Fridays. I like the alliteration of FlossTube Friday, so maybe I'll just leave it on a Friday. We'll see, but I will be back with FlossTube in a couple of weeks and a tutorial in between then as well. Not decided what yet, but something will be coming out. Oh, and I might sneak in a little FlossTube extra if I can get my autumn/Halloween display all put together with my stitching and some little decor bits that I've got on order. Then I'll do a little video and show you those, and potentially I can show you my Halloween FFOs. Hopefully I'll get those done and I can show you that as well. So yeah, maybe a little extra video to come in the next week or so. And that really is it. Thank you again so much for being here and chatting with me. I absolutely love sharing all my projects. I hope you enjoy seeing them. And until next time, happy stitching.